Of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I need a tan. I need the ocean. Y'all don't see? I'm super light skinned. And the camera got me looking super, super duper light skinned. So I need the ocean real quick. I need some sand in between my toes. I need the sun kissing my skin. I'm done with winter. I'm done with the cold. I'm done with all of it. Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Taylor Andre. Today's Thursday, and we've been doubled up on guests. And so we weren't in the building on Monday because it was Easter Monday. And then Tuesday we had 2 guests. And on Wednesday we had 2 guests. So this is the first time we really like checking in for the week, right? So good rising. How are you? I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I've been sleeping extremely well. In the past, I would stay up and wait for baby Rain to go to sleep. Recently, I'm like, yo, you go to sleep when you go to bed. You still going to be woken up when I wake you up, but I ain't got time to be staying up with him. And my kids stay up. All of them. Since the womb, they stay up. And so he is currently watching Sight Words, and I'm loving his progression. I think we've been focusing on Sight Words for about the last 10 days, about 2 weeks. And he pronounces the word with them. Anari and his girlfriend are good. Like they have a whole real relationship. And I treat them like they're the parents of baby Rain. Because y'all ain't finna make me a grandparent. Take him to the park, get him ready for bed, feed him. Like this is what y'all gonna have to do. Y'all want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? Y'all better just like each other's company, because here it go. Baby Rain is the birth control. So I really do like Anari's girlfriend, Haley. Last night I did the, when your parents be breaking out your baby pictures, and so it's a different situation now, right? So I didn't take out the photo book. Just went to Google, tapped on Anari's face, and was like, these are all the pictures of Anari. And she was like, oh, she went through and saw like his progression. And so they met. I love their story. Like Anari and Haley's story is so perfect to me. So Anari and Haley met when they were in like 7th or 8th grade. They were on the swim team together, and they could not stand each other. So Haley was like, he was so immature and so annoying. And he was like, I didn't like her because she thought I was immature and annoying. So they did not like each other for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Like they didn't like each other. And then they started, becoming friends. Haley started talking about like her whole friendships and relationships. And then they became besties. And then from besties, she fell in love with him first. He was like, Mommy, I don't like her. Like, we're just friends. I don't want to be in a relationship with her. And then we went to Alabama, and they spent, when we went to Alabama for a long time in December, I think it was like a whole month we were gone, 3 weeks we were gone, and they didn't talk to each other. They didn't see each other. And when we finally came home, he was like, Mommy, I think I love her. I was like, distance makes the heart grow fonder, huh? And so now Haley at my house every damn day, or Anari's at Haley's house every day. And she really does, like, she makes him better. She holds him accountable. And they're really cute. And it's difficult for me because, first of all, I don't even like to admit that I'm about to have a 16-year-old. I mean, I'm about to have an 18-year-old in June. He'll be 18. And my ass will, like, officially be old because I'll have an 18-year-old. And so it's difficult for me because I have the parental mindset, like, hey, you're not moving it. We're not doing this whole kick out thing at 18. To me, that has always been the stupidest thing on earth. Like, you're going to kick your kid out at 18 because they don't listen to rules. Like, first and foremost, rewind a little bit. Before I was a parent, I understood that whatever child I was blessed to bring into this earth, it's for me to help guide. I knew at a very young age that souls were souls before they got here. They have a purpose, they have a mission, and that soul needs to do what that soul needs to do. And for me, my job was not to stifle that soul and just to allow that soul to progress while guiding it on the right path. Sort of like the bumpers when you do bowling. Like, you're not going to get a strike, but I'm going to make sure you don't get into the gutter. And so that I have parented my whole, like, that's the way that I've parented, being a parent. And now it just is, it's weird for me that I'm going, yes, Jaime, he's going to be 18. Yes, he is going to be 18 years old. And I can't tell him, even though I can tell him, you ain't finna come in my house at no crazy hour of the night, but I still like, where you going? He's like, Mom, you know, I'm about to be 18, right? I'm like, and where are you going? Shoot, if I'm at my mother's house right now and I'm about to head out, what my mother about to ask me? My father, what my stepmother, it's gonna be more than just that. She, baby, where you going? Who you going with? You want to drop me a pin? You send me your location. Like, my parents don't play, and I'm grown, so it's difficult. Oh God. Y'all want to help me? Help me. Help me. I want to know how all y'all grown folks with children, how y'all did this, because this is a difficult transition for me. I've never per se been a helicopter parent, but with Anari being 18, like, how can you all help me with the transition? I need help. Help me, please. How do you transition from being like the parent that's super engaged and super involved, but also understanding that they're adults? But to me, at the same time, I'm like, yo, you're not an adult. Just because the United States government says that you can have your freedom, you're still dumb. You still a little ass kid. You don't know nothing about nothing. So I'm nervous. But I feel like it's my responsibility to make Anari and Haley act as if they're parents. And I hope that if anything is engaged on a Freaky Friday, then they do what they need to do and wrap it up, B. Because Baby Rain is a handful. And I'm like, yo, take him, feed him, figure out what he wants to eat and feed him. So this real life case study. This is your job today. Y'all figure this out. But we wanted to, yeah, there's gonna be plenty of times you just wanted to do something and you can't do it because you have a whole kid. But when all it takes is one time. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sir. When kids get old like that, that's when you find out if what you've taught has been received. And you know what? I'm not concerned about that. So I guess I need to relax because I'm not worried in that sense. They listen sometimes. But aside from that, because I do speak a lot about Anari, but I do have to give props to Asaria. Asaria is so dope, first of all. So recently I applied for this thing and it was like asked about inspiration, and it didn't really hit me because I knew it, but Asaria has been my inspiration for a long time. So a lot of people don't know that I am a high school dropout. And so I was a high school dropout, got into multi-level marketing, been an entrepreneur since I was 12 because I had a paper route, and was just like been a hustler since forever. So from drop out of high school time until like 21, I was doing multi-level marketing, and I was doing pretty well in that field. And I still love prepaid legal. I think it's called Legal Shield today. And I got pregnant with Asaria, and there was something in me that changed. And I didn't want to do multi-level marketing anymore. I wanted to have foundational knowledge in the sense of like a degree. And so Asaria was the reason why I got my GED. And in Birmingham, Alabama, I went to Jeff State and got my associate's degree in business. And then I went and transferred into a 4-year at Birmingham Southern, which is like the best liberal arts school in the South. And then the kids decided to come back home. But long story short, Asaria has been the source of my inspiration. She was the reason why I got my GED. She was the reason why I got my associate. She is the reason why I got my bachelor's. Like, I have always wanted to make Asaria proud, and wanted, and still do, like to this day, and still want Asaria to be proud that I'm her mom. And so I am so proud to be, like, I am so proud that Asaria chose me. And she and Anari at separate times at their life told me, like, we chose you. Like, I asked God if you could be my mom. And that has always, like, that will always stick with me. The way that they said it, their face, like, I asked God if you could be my mother. I was like, you did? She was like, yes, I did. And he gave me you. And I was just like, that always stayed with me. So I always wanted to make her proud. And she's so dope. I posted a throwback video of her the other day, and I was like, did you do your homework? And she was like, why are you always bothering me about homework? Why are you like, no, I didn't do my homework, but I plan on waking up early and getting it done. Does anybody ever say anything to you about my homework? And I was just like, no. She was like, then why do you bother me about my homework? I said, fine, I won't bother you about your homework, but can you just do your homework? No. And so I don't know why I was watching that video, but like that was 4 or 5 years ago. And still to this day, Asaria got straight A's. She does not do her homework at night time. She still do her homework whenever she do her homework. She be missing days whenever she want to miss days. But that girl got straight A's, A+, A minus. She don't even bring home a B. And when she does, we joke about a B. The hell's a B? But she is absolutely amazing. Her emotional intelligence is through the roof. She read her father and I a story the other day, and I had to stop her in her church. I was like, yo, what book, what novel you pulled this out of? She was like, I was listening to a song and I was just thinking, and it made me, I just wrote a book. Yo, when I tell you that thing sound like, what is it? Headington Steel, or one of like an author. Yo, I wish I could read it for you. I wish I could truly read it for you, because the thing sounded like the intro. That's what it said. That's what I told it. It sounded like an intro to the movie, an intro to like a science fiction, aliens in space, intergalactic type situation. I was like, yo, that shit was dope. And her father was like, why you act like she ain't been doing this for years? And she has. I remember that one time I was in the kitchen cooking. She was like, Mommy, can I tell you a story? And I was like, yeah. She was just like, and he exclaimed, and she replied. I was like, what book is this? And she was like, Mommy, I'm telling you a story. I was like, from where? She was like, my head. So she's like, her literary is through the roof. It has always been advance, and I'm just proud of who she is and what she does and all of her accomplishments and dopeness, and she's still doing that. Her recent activities have been plants, so she's been engaging in plants and with her green thumb, and we have plants all around the house. And as far as I am concerned, I am struggling. So I am struggling with the fact that my children are getting older. I am struggling with the truth that my uncle is now an elder. So my grandmother is now in the position that my great-grandmother used to be in. My uncle, my dad, my aunts are now the elders. And like when you go to like the cookout, like who's the oldest people, the elders, like it's my dad. My dad is now one of the elders. My Uncle Terry is now one of the elders. The generations are changing, and I am now the next generation to be an elder. And it feels weird. And I know this is the progression of life and how life happens, but it's just, you guys don't feel that? Like I'm talking to, I look at the analytics, right? And so a lot of the listeners are between 40 and 60 years old. I want to have conversations with you all. Like when this transition takes place, I need help. I need help because in my head, I'm still that little dumb 18-year-old. In my heart, I'm still a little kid. And I understand I'm still, at 37 years old, I'm still wet behind the ears. Like, I get it. I'm close to 40, but I'm not 40. And I still have some ways to go. And the progression of life this is the things that are not discussed. We don't talk about that next level and that, and what's required of you and what's expected of you. And the best way is called getting old. I know it's called getting old. I'm getting old, but I want to talk about being old and becoming elders. Common rule, adults must follow. So now that they think that they're adults, they have to follow those rules. Oh, as far as the little kids, yeah. Acknowledging that there's a place in the power circle is the first. And that's like, as far as like going back and understanding that whatever it is that I taught them was received, Inari and Asaria can enter into any space and adults love them. Parents love them when it comes to their manners, when it comes to their mannerisms, when it comes to their having respect, and how they conduct themselves. I am not concerned with at all. Though they have a lot of respect for their elders, what you're not going to do is disrespect me. And so I'm really proud that they know how to be respectful while still making sure that their own personal boundaries are not disrespected. And so that I spent way too much time on that check-in, but I just wanted to let you know where we were and how I was and how everything is going on in my life. I get inbox all the time. Like, I'm so proud of you all because y'all inbox me about birthdays and situations with the kids. And so I feel like we know each other enough to have real conversations. But with that being said, they're going to make me pay these bills. So I'm going to pay these bills. We're going to come back. We're going to jump into the news. I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
Radio. New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
Right now, the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans, and soon they will be available to everyone.
This vaccine means hope. It will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
I want to go back to work and I want to be able to move around.
To visit with Michelle's mom, to hug her and see her on her birthday.
You know what I'm really looking forward to is going to opening day in Texas Ranger Stadium with a full stadium.
We've lost enough people and we've suffered enough damage.
In order to get rid of this pandemic, it's important for our fellow citizens to get vaccinated.
I'm getting vaccinated because we want this pandemic to end as soon as possible.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
So roll up your sleeve and do your part.
This is our shot.
Now it's up to you.
If you talk and they will hear you. Every single time.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You try.
Talk. They listen sometimes. I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about the time, it has nothing to do with none of that. But about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. It feels good to me because we finally see the world change, but the way of man, not so much. Age births truth. Hey, cousin. Shout out to all the wards. I love the wards. And so with that being said, news, what's going on? Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. So for those that are listening, if you can hear my voice clap one time, you can hear my voice clap 2 times. If you can't hear if you watching my mouth, I want to show you something. And so those that are listening on radio, I will walk you through it. But those that are watching, I would love to share something with you that I am so excited about. And so currently I am clicking on Walmart.com. I am in the search bar and I am searching for Taylor Andre. And y'all see, you could get a damn Taylor Andre book at Walmart. I'm so excited. So this was a lot of work, y'all. And so if I could be transparent, this was not easy. And I had zero help. I did it by my lonesome. And the Finally Home step-by-step guide for people preparing for first-time home ownership is currently on sale on Amazon and Walmart and Bookpatch. And the Spanish version is on Amazon, Walmart, and I haven't uploaded it to Bookpatch yet. I think I'm just going to keep it on Amazon and Walmart and then find like a Latino-based site to put it on. The audiobook for the Spanish book is complete, and I have not done what I needed to do to set time aside so I can be the voice on the audiobook for the English version. But the course is 75% complete for English. I had a buyer call me 3 days ago and she had like all these questions. And I was like, listen, send me your email. I'll send you a copy of the book. Yo, she sounded like Soulja Boy. She was like, the book? You want me to read? And so the course is about an hour and 20 minutes long in its entirety. And I think it's going to do very well. So it's 100% authentically like my personality. I like fumbled over words and didn't even do a correction. Like I want it to be authentic. You know, people are like, oh, you want it to be professional. I'm like, yeah, I do want it to be professional. But at the same time, I'm a whole human and these are humans listening to it. And I want people to feel connected. Like I want you to know that I'm not perfect, but what I'm telling you is this information is the information that you need. And she was like, well, my editor's like, but are you sure you don't want to fix that? I'm like, no, I don't. And so when you get the course for yourself and you listen to it and you see that I'm over there fumbling over words and stuttering and everything else, it was real life. Like I real life wanted y'all to get 100% Taylor. And so with that being said, I didn't want to say nothing before because shoot, you don't boast about accomplishments and you ain't even accomplished nothing yet. So now that we are here, I'm so excited. I am so proud. I was like, sorry, are you proud of me? She was like, are you proud of yourself? No, let me tell you. This is what it was. So mind you, let's go back to the beginning when I said Asaria is my greatest inspiration. So I know we're supposed to get into this news, I know. But y'all see the signs all over the city. So the little ones, I used to have 3x3s. So it's like 3x3 with my face on it and some words and the phone number, and put those up all over the city first. And she was like, I don't know why you so excited. I can't even read that. Like, they're so little. Why are you excited about why are you excited about those little, mommy, can I cuss? Why are you excited about those little ass signs nobody can see? They can't see you. They can't see the picture and you happy. Yo, and that's why y'all see them 4x6s. Because a 13-year-old told me I wasn't ish. Yo, she really do. So I'm like, Asaria, let me show you something. Go to Walmart.com. She went to Walmart.com. Type in mommy's name. She typed in my name. She was just like, oh, okay, you on Walmart. You just on a website? You ain't in the store? Just on the website? You happy about the website? Yo, Asaria gonna make me put this damn book in Walmart and Target on the shelf. It's just on a website? I was like, damn, Asaria. She's like, no disrespect. I'm just saying, like, it's just on the website, though? I was like, yeah, it's just on the website. She was like, oh, congratulations. Disrespectful, so disrespectful, but she really do be pushing me all the way to the limit. Like, so I'm gonna to be on the damn bookshelf in a second because the way Asaria playing with me just on a website. So that was what I wanted to share. Yes, super excited. Don't have no kids. Miss Yo, remember when remember little Asaria? Asaria has always been herself ever since she was teeny tiny, and she's still herself today. Just the website? Yo, that really hurt my feelings. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't say nothing to her, but I know my face does not hide well. My feelings is real life hurt. Like, I did, like, that whole work and like everything I had to do meant nothing because I was just like, damn, I got to step up my game. And that's how she has made me feel my whole life. All of this, really quickly, I don't know why I feel like sharing this story, but so I pierced my own nose at 15. I think it was my 15th birthday. I pierced my own nose. And my grandmother was like, that girl crazy. There's something wrong with her. And at some point in time, I think I took it. Oh, that's what it was. I got my tonsils removed or some nonsense. Like it came out. I left it out. It ended up closing. I wanted to reopen it. And there's a little gun machine thing that you can do at home to pierce your ears or pierce your nose, whatever. It's a piercer. And so I was sitting in the mirror and I was doing it. And she was like, you're procrastinating. I don't know why you just don't pull the trigger. You got this, mommy. You can do anything. And I did it. And I felt so accomplished. Like, yo, Asaria forever, ever, and ever. I don't talk about Asaria much because she don't do the whole social media. She ain't with the pictures. When people in the streets, so Anari's face is on my face, like my face is on Anari's face. So when they see Anari, they're like, "You're Taylor Andre's son." He's like, "I hate it. Everybody knows me. Like, I can't even go to the smoke fest because people know I'm your kid." They be like, "Anari, I'm telling your mom." And Asaria, they're like, "Aren't you Taylor's daughter?" She'd be like, "Who's Taylor?" She said, "I don't want no parts of none of this." No, mom, no. Yes, I denied you. I said, "Okay, Judas, you out here denying me like Judas?" She was like, listen, people don't need to know I'm your kid. People they need to leave me alone. Why are you harassing other people's kids? Like, Asaria is so rude and disrespectful, but I love her. If you want to see a video, Asaria was on Freaky Friday, the youth version. And so if you go on Google, not Google, on YouTube and look up Freaky Friday, the youth version, you'll get a little taste of who Asaria is. She don't play no games. She is my rock, my inspiration. I love my kids. They get on my last damn nerves, but I am honored. So as far as news is concerned, Virginia becomes the first Southern state and the 16th state in the United States to legalize recreational marijuana as Governor Northam pushes up adoption by 3 years to emphasize social equity. So the governor, Ralph Northam, announced on Wednesday that Virginia is making history as the first Southern state to legalize the simple possession of marijuana. Beginning July 1st, adults can grow up to 4 cannabis plants within their household, but retail sales will not begin until 2024. Lawmakers passed a bill on February, which would legalize pot in 2024, but the governor wanted to push that up, and the legal marijuana industry in Virginia could bring up to $1.2 billion in economic activity. Virginia, again, is the 16th state to legalize adult use marijuana. And if you do your own due diligence and your own research, you will find that over the years, studies have shown that CBD like tincture or CBD oil has been able to help young people with seizures, have been able to help young people with anxiety. I have a niece that suffers from like post-traumatic stress and anxiety, and she eats gummies. And so we are taking, I love this time in history because we are looking outside of the box and looking at medicinal uses for things that used to be completely shunned. Let's go like not even less than 80 years ago. It was wacky tobacco. The Mexicans and the blacks smoke it before they rape your white wife. Like those were real articles that were in newspapers. And now all of a sudden we're having real conversations about equity and black dispensaries being able to have access and create generational wealth. And so I love where we are in history. I love the time, like, oh, what a time to be alive. Amen. Ashe, like it feels amazing. The first Southern states. And so I really hope that it's a trickle down effect. I'm really surprised that Georgia wasn't the first state because everything that's going on in Georgia, you would have think Tyler Perry would have put that on a ballot. One of the things Tyler Perry is doing and has done is opened up his studio. So Tyler Perry ends quarantine bubble at the studio after supplying vaccinations for his entire staff. And so the bubble will be coming to an end on Saturday, April 10th, following a mass vaccination event that took place last week on April 3rd. However, Tyler Perry, the crew built the vaccination site for his staff and their family and friends who had not received COVID vaccine shot yet. Vaccines are not mandatory at the Tyler Perry Studios. However, over 250 people have returned to get their second dose. And so you guys may not know this, but I support whoever decides to get it. I personally am an anti-vaxxer and not a COVID-19 anti-vaxxer. Nari and Asaria have not, Nari was 4 years old. Asaria was 2 years old. That was on that day at the doctor's office is when I had a conversation with my soul, and that was the last time my children were vaccinated. Baby Rain left the hospital with vitamin K. They convinced me that it would help his blood. His umbilical cord was not cut until 10 minutes after birth. He has received nothing outside of the vitamin K, and his father agreed to like the little stuff that they put on their eyes. Aside from that, Baby Rain has not seen a needle one day in his life. And so I personally am an anti-vaxxer, though I support whatever decision you make. So I'm not a shunner. If you decide to get the vaccine, get it. If you don't want to get it, it is your personal choice. No one asks you who you're voting for. Just like your vote is your personal choice, your children and whatever decision you decide is your personal choice. I forgot where I was driving. Oh, in Brockton. So the house that I had on the market in Brockton recently had their appraisal, and there's signs up in Brockton that's like my child, my choice, with a circle, a needle in a circle with the like no sign to it, like my child, my choice. And I didn't even know that that was even like a campaign or something that was being promoted. I don't know if that family just got that one created, but that was the first one that I saw. And I truly do believe, like, my child, my decision, my choice. You should not, the government should not dictate that. You don't dictate, except for California. No one dictates whether or not your child has every other vaccine. So you shouldn't be dictating or making it mandatory, because no one says, oh, you can't come to the mall because y'all don't have the smallpox vaccine. Y'all can't come to the mall because you don't have the MMR. Like, no one stops you from going anywhere. You can't come to the mall because you didn't get the flu shot. Then how on earth are we okay with you can't come to the mall because you didn't get your COVID-19 shot? Like, the logic to me just doesn't make sense. But I had a conversation earlier. You can't have rational conversations with irrational people. So this is why it's important for you to vote on a local level. This is what happens. People start making decisions on your behalf and telling you what's right and wrong and what you have to do. A Black Florida man is released from prison after 30 years, but prosecutors still want him locked up. We had a great conversation yesterday about political prisoners and how many political prisoners are still in jail today for crimes that they were framed for, crimes that shouldn't have even been a crime just because of affiliation. And this man is Crosley Green. He's 63 years old. A Black man spent more than 30 years behind bars before he was released from prison on Tuesday by a Florida judge. And people talk all the time about how you just gonna like throw people in jail. Like, Black people get the worst end of the stick all the time. So he was convicted of murder and sentenced to death after a woman pointed him out in a photo lineup and said he was responsible for the kidnapping and killing of her ex-boyfriend. An all-white jury in 1990 looked at the evidence and found him guilty. According to reports, the Gene Thomas accuses the prosecution of using faulty evidence and pressuring witnesses when prosecuting the murder of Charles Chip Flynn, who was found shot in Florida's Citrus Grove of 1989. Flynn's ex-girlfriend, Kim Halleck, had been with him that night and told investigators that they had been robbed and Flynn's truck was hijacked as they sat in the vehicle late at night. Halleck told investigators that the suspect was a Black man, but some investigators said that her story didn't add up. The family and friends told 48 Hours in 1999 that Flynn had a new girlfriend and Halleck was upset about the breakup. Halleck, who has never been a suspect in the death, picked Green, who had previously been released from jail, out of a photo lineup. When Green was arrested and charged with kidnapping, robbery, and murder, though there were no direct evidence of linking him to the shooting, Green said he was at a party at the time of the murder. In 2018, a federal judge overturned Green's conviction on the basis that prosecutors kept evidence from the lawyers in 1990, which goes like, again, I was having a conversation earlier about the Derek's case and how intricate it is and how every detail matters. And even the details that you don't think matter are important and are under a microscope. And we have to understand that this wasn't always the case at all. First of all, what was it? ABC, Fox, one of the news channels recent. So Rep Hastings died, right? And because Rep Hastings dies, the news is reporting on it. They put up a completely different representative, another Black bald man with gray hair. And these are like multi-billion-dollar corporations with millions of dollars in funds in order to get the accurate information to we the people, and them themselves are like Rep Hastings, and it's like Rep Cummings. It's like, how all you gotta do is Google search, download, and post that picture. Like, how you F that up? You had one job. And so I say that to say it really, like, when it came in Florida, Rosewood, y'all remember that movie? Just think about the mentalities. An all-white jury, a black man. Oh yeah, he did it. Send him to jail, lock him up, throw away the key. You don't even need evidence. What evidence? And so, and I said that to say the conversations that we've had with our attorneys have told us, like, if for some reason there's a case and there's a situation and one attorney doesn't disclose any information, or even Siriano, when Siriano told us about, like, the chain of command, if they cannot document every step, like, oh, one day we don't know where it was and then we found it, oh, the whole case is thrown out. I don't care how many people died, how many things got blown up, how much damage was done. For 1 hour, you don't know where. Nope. Throw it out. And it's thrown out. And so on Tuesday, Judge Roy B. Dalton granted a motion from Green's lawyers to release him from prison, pointing out that his age and recent exposure to tuberculosis while incarcerated puts him at an increased risk for COVID-19. How many black men are sitting in jail right now? How many black men and women are sitting in jail? Latino men and women. When I say black, I mean it, like anybody with melanin in their skin that claims themselves to be black. Candace Owens says it's time to pull our kids out of school because they're taught how to hate white people. First and foremost, Candace, I need you to take several seats. So 99% of the things that come out of her mouth, I do not agree with. I did see a video of her the other day that she was talking about, I don't remember what she was talking about, but I was like, you know, that's that 1%, Candace. Stay on that path. As long as you stay on that path, we'll be good to go. And when we go to the next commercial break, I'm going to pull it up, because it was viable information, and I feel like she was correct. 99% of the time, she needs to shut the hell up, because she does not love herself as a black woman personally. And if she was given a choice, I truly believe that she would extract every ounce of melanin out of her skin and would truly be like Candace Owens. Like she would be Candace. But schools have indoctrinated our children forever to hate themselves. So please show me where in history, in society, that schools are teaching children how to hate white people. Because I don't see it, and I can't see it, and it doesn't exist. So maybe, I don't know. No. They're assuming every white kid is racist. This is a big topic that I cover extensively. I truly believe it's time for us to pull our kids out of school. And I know people say, oh, well, not all of us can afford to do that. The country was built on having a lot of money. When we were homeschooling, the country wasn't built on having a lot of money. When we were homeschooling, we were starting to see this more and more. It's an indoctrination that's currently happening. And they're trying to teach a Marxist ideology. But listen, you don't have to teach nobody to hate nobody. When you start seeing how people are treated, you start realizing reality. It's not about treatment. Treatment goes both ways. Both ways. Body camera footage shows LAPD arresting a black man, even though their suspect was white. Again, going back to the fact that, like, why it seemed like all black people being harassed. We don't harass black people. That's not what we do. We shall see. Austin and his girlfriend were arrested for resisting arrest. Yo, if I could do one thing on earth, where is the psychology? Just pause for 5 seconds. Where is the psychology behind, like, it's, what is it? Flee, fight, flight, or flee. I don't know what it is, but it's the 3 F's. And we as human beings, it's like saying, I try to catch a deer and I try to catch a turkey and it wouldn't let me catch it. Like, if you know you did nothing wrong and an officer is arresting you for no reason, and you got places to be, you got kids, like, nah, it's in your nature to pull your hand back. When you get your ass whooped, it's in your nature to protect yourself. I don't know why we have this ideology about you're arrested for resisting arrest. I don't know. So the video footage shows that the two being physically detained by officers as they proclaim Austin's innocence, but it begins with an unusual admission that the officers weren't sure Austin was the man cited in the call. You can hear on the body camera, they're like, yo, is it this dude? Mind you, they said the suspect was white, but they arrested a black man. Long story short, we're not surprised. I'm not surprised. Prosecutors closed case against Georgia State rep arrested for knocking on Governor Brian Kemp's door, as it should. I don't even think we need to spend any time on it. Georgia State troopers arrested Cannon for the apparent crime of knocking on a white governor's door while he was signing a law into making it harder for black people to vote. On Wednesday, Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis revealed that her office has investigated the criminal matters against Cannon, and having reviewed all evidence, she has decided to close the case. While some of Representative Cannon's colleagues and police officers involved may have found her behavior annoying, such sentiments does not justify the presentment to a grand jury of the allegations in the arrest warrants or of any felony charges. And so what was she arrested for in the first place? For being annoying, long story short. And so a black representative in the Georgia State House was arrested. 2021. This one goes back down in history books. Russia outlaws same-sex marriage, bans trans people from adopting children, and Vladimir Putin will be president until 2036. Yo, that's scary. I couldn't imagine living in that type of society. The closest I've ever gotten to that experience is, what is it? The Men in the High Castle, where the United States, the show is on the premise that the United States lost the war and that China and Russia own the United States. And then there's like a little slither in the middle of like neutral land. Listen, I'm gonna be naked in the neutral land because y'all ain't finna get me on okie doke on either side. Like, it just, and I only watched the first season. And in the first season, like, it was illegal for you to watch the propaganda of the past, or the propaganda of like what freedom used to look like prior to the communism within the United States. It was illegal for you to watch like the movies that showed the freedom that you had. There was no freedom at all. Like, police came and kicked in your door. People disappeared on a regular basis. Like, it sounds like China right now, today, 2021. And I couldn't imagine. Like, I'd be fleeing a political asylum, please, because I couldn't imagine living in that type of society. I still feel like, had I been up in slave times, my mind go all the way to the left. Because I'm like, if I'm Taylor today, and I think like Taylor today, I feel like Taylor today, I look like Taylor today, I would have been dragged to somebody's bed. And I would have been the one leaving in the morning because somebody would have been dead. Like, yo, like, I can't. Thinking about being somebody's play toy and then the wife treating you crazy. And I cook your food? Oh, yeah. Your friends, your cousins, your business partners going to be coming around the house like, where the master at and his wife? They went on vacation. They said we'd be back. They ain't been back yet. Yo, it'd be me and the fellow people on the plantation living life a little differently. I have so much respect for our ancestors that were able to endure that, because Lord, thank you. What a time to be alive today, because I don't even like the injustice that I see today in society that we live in. I don't believe my soul would have been able to bear all of that back then. I would have been Nat Turner, 100%. Bringing behavioral vaccines to schools, 5 ways educators can support students' well-being. And so I feel like this shouldn't even be a conversation, but the 5 pillars that they talk about are build strong connections with every child, fostering positive emotions, including adults, being mindful of disciplinary practices, and recognize different students' needs. We did a study and found money wasted. All you needed was a conversation with parents. They could have told you that. There's an article. I'll post it to the Wake Up with Taylor Andre page on Facebook, but it talks about how when a Florida program designed to reduce doctors' malpractice bills strips families of their right to sue, offering instead a one-time payment and a promise to cover medical expenses. But parents report that it's absolutely crazy. They end up having to come out of pocket. And even parents that have children that were stillborns, parents that had children in NICU that didn't make it, and you have to relive this experience over and over and over and over again. And it's I swear it's about common sense. If we conducted ourselves with common sense and just treated people with a little bit of humanity, all these dumbass stories that we read on a regular basis would not have any room to breathe. Vandals cause irreplaceable damage to 1,000-year-old Native American like hieroglyphs. Stupidity again. So Track Rock Gap in Chattahoochee National Forest was targeted by vandals. A series of pre-colonial historic rock carvings were found covered in scratches and colored paint. The Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians are not sure whether the vandals were ignorance or malice, but they say that they are sad and frustrated. The Track Rock Gap rock art and stone landscape sites were created by Creek and Cherokee people over 1,000 years ago. The petroglyphs was renovated in 2010 to make it more inviting to visitors, and old grates that were installed to discourage vandalisms were removed. And so I do want you all to, like, I want to, it's like somebody loves somebody, HIVR loves BTB. Like, y'all couldn't find no tree to put that in? And this is actually in the northern part of Georgia, super close to North Carolina. So we're like North Carolina and Georgia link up. It's right there. And so if you ask me, that wasn't ignorance. It was malice. Because some of what they did was color in. Yeah, it could have been stupidity. Somebody could have just been high as hell. My heart hurts for stuff like that. Ben Carson, the neurosurgeon, plans to launch a new version of the Boy Scouts called the Little Patriots that will heavily expose youngsters to the real history of America. Ben Carson wants to teach young kids the real history of America. What does that mean, Ben? What history are we actually teaching them? Whose history are we actually teaching them? Former Housing and Urban Development Secretary, aka the first man to do the brain surgery that he conducted, has plans to launch his own version of the Boy Scouts called the Little Patriots. He didn't give details of the program, only saying it will be something like Boy Scouts, but heavily exposed to real history of America. It also appears that Carson and his team have started recruiting young boys. In the video shared on Carson's page in February, a young boy is seen reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and saying, "God bless America." What do you think? What are your thoughts? JP Morgan's boss, Jamie Dimon, says the U.S. is basking in a post-COVID-19 economic boom that could run into 2023. And so if you are a business owner and have tapped into any of this free money that is out here, trust and believe, corporate welfare when I say corporate welfare, I mean grants given to the auto industry, the money given to the airlines. Like, as long as they claim bankruptcy at some point in time, they never going to pay that money back. All of these corporations that are like, hey, yo, we're hurting. We need some money. We need this. We need that. There's a lot of money, B. There's a lot of money out here in the streets. And if you're an entrepreneur and you see how many grants is out here, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, like, it really is a money grab. And corporations that know how to navigate these systems and have attorneys navigating these systems, or just people with some wherewithal and connected to some knowledge, is winning. And they're talking about this is going to last until 2023. He said that the boom will last until 2023 if the federal spending continues. He also said that the potential boom was down in part to the federal government stimulus boost, increased consumer savings, and successful vaccines. Dimon is the long-serving CEO of America's biggest bank, which is widely seen as the face of America's banking sector. JP Morgan went through the financial crisis of 2008 with him, and they heavily rely on his, like, whatever he says has to be true. Like, he been through the storm before, he gonna weather us through. He said that the federal stimulus package for Americans helped, but it helped, but more work is to be done. He also said that the average balance sheet of U.S. consumers was in excellent shape before the pandemic, and it was the lowest that it was in the last 40 years. And so I am continuing to follow him. I read an article about him in, was it Keplinger's, something like that. And he was giving his analysis for the 2021. So this was like sometime last year, right before the pandemic got really, really bad. And he said, like, this is going to go left. And there's going to be a lot of companies that make a lot of money using this crisis. And so this article reminded me of that article. And so I'm about to be that little fish that be on a shark. I'm about to see what he say about these stocks, because I need my stocks to do something different. SpaceX launches the 10th batch of new Starlink satellites to orbit into space for the 2021, bringing the firm one step closer to meeting Elon Musk's goals of sending 1,500 Starlink satellites into space this year. This is the 10th batch of Starlink internet satellites of 2021. They say that they're moving quickly to meet Elon Musk's goal of the 1,500 for 2021. SpaceX president also said they will not be offering tiered prices for services. Wednesday's launch brings Starlink satellites to 1,443, which means he may make it to 2,000 by the end of the year. And so I am not 100% proficient on SpaceX or the Starlink satellites, but have begun going down that rabbit hole. And if if y'all don't have no Tesla stock, I don't care if Tesla stock became $20,000 per share. This man wants to iPhone every electronic in your house. So just like everybody got an iPhone, everybody got a Mac, everybody got a damn Apple Watch. And if you don't, Anari's phone broke. And I was like, here, take my Android. And he was like, listen, I'd rather have no phone. And that kid, he literally had no phone. No phone. Because he did not want to have an Android. And so these young people and their mentality, and you think moving forward, it's not going to be the same mentality. So with that being said, like, you really, truly get you some Tesla stock. He is not going anywhere. He's an asshole. He's a pain in the ass. But what he does have is a brilliant mind and a determination that is unstoppable. For you to have a Tesla in your driveway, a Tesla solar system on your house, and for you to have Tesla satellite internet TV service in your home. Like, he wants your damn whole, your dishwasher finna be Tesla. Your self-driving vehicle about to be Tesla. All the products that go to and from those Walmart trucks finna be Tesla. He has a determination of a Bill Gates, of what's the Facebook boy, Mark Zuckerberg. Like, you will at some point in time have a Tesla product in your life. I know the stock is ridiculous, but take your little $50 a week, take your little $25 a week, take your pennies, stack them up, buy little bit by little bit by little bit, and reinvest your dividends into your Tesla, because he's not going anywhere. And this is the start of Apple, when Apple had that big ass computer that was the whole size of this table. And now you can fit that whole computer in your hand. So I just want you to see 20 years into the future and set yourself up financially. So we're going to go ahead and we still got news. We're still going to stick with the news for a little while until I've run my mouth. We're going to run our mouth for a little while. But for now, let's go ahead and pay these bills. And when we come back, we'll finish the news. And the phone lines are open and working. So if y'all want to call 617-272-3387, I haven't memorized the number yet, but it is on the top of your screen. And for those who are listening, again, the number is 617-272-3387. I do want to talk to you. I do want to hear your voice. Call me now in my Miss Cleo voice.
You are now listening to Spark FM.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
What's up, everybody? This is James Jimmy Hills, host of Java with Jimmy on Spark FM Online. Make sure you tune in every Monday and every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Also, follow Java with Jimmy on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget to go to Spark FM Online and download the app. Listen to Spark FM Online 24/7.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM. The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. COVID billionaires. Forbes reveals 40 people's worth equals $77.9 billion. And they have seen this fortune soar due to fighting the coronavirus pandemic, including 14 from China. This year's Forbes World Billionaire list includes a record 2,755 people. It saw 660 people join the list from 2020. Overall, wealth rose $13.1 trillion. Of those that joined became billionaires because of their COVID-19 related business ventures, such as vaccine, testing system, and PPE distribution. The new entrants have a combined wealth of $77.9 billion of the 40 people that became billionaires in 2020 and 2021. 40 people became billionaires because of this pandemic. Their net worth combined is $77.9 billion. So, McDonald's employees reveal how customers are being served. Half-eaten burgers, fake eggs, and food deliberately ruined with too much tartar sauce in a viral TikTok video. The anonymous McDonald's worker attracted millions of views on TikTok. Shocking videos showed the social media user deliberately ruining the food for diners, and somebody took a bite out of the burger and then put it in a full bun. And I bet you somebody ate it, didn't even know it. Social media users have been shocked by the clips and branding them as gross. But if you eat at McDonald's, you already knew it was gross. This is McDonald's. Like, I don't know why you surprised. What you expected? It ain't no 5-star restaurant. And but the look of these eggs is nasty. Like, these eggs. These eggs, they're not even eggs, like they're squares. That's it. They're squares of, they look like yellow stuff. It just looks like yellow cookie dough or yellow cheese. Oh, you know what? For all my West Indians, it looked like beef patty before beef patty get cooked. You know that like real yellow, nasty looking gooey stuff? That's what it looked like before it get cooked and become flaky and delicious. If you eat at McDonald's, you already knew what you were getting yourself into. You probably told yourself you ain't never going to eat there again, but then it was the only thing open. Welcome to being in a food desert. Many of us do live in one. Biden says the U.S. needs a massive infrastructure bill because China is racing ahead and insists that he is willing to work with Republicans on those terms. So Joe Biden got visibly angry as he pointed out how America was failing and falling behind of the rest of the world. The president particularly singled out China as the country that was bypassing the United States. Over the next 6 to 8 months, China and the rest of the world is racing ahead of us and investing in investments they have in the future. Biden gave remarks on Wednesday to shore up support for his $2.3 trillion infrastructure plan, which listen, y'all know me, right? Super excited about this, which includes a jet that flies at 21,000 miles an hour or 15 times the speed of a Concorde. The bullet train, that's a jet, it's jets, but it's a jet because just fast as shit, but it's really a train. And so when you take a look at, if you've ever traveled outside of the United States, you know how different it is here. Like, as far as the United States is concerned, we have conversations all the time about the damn green line, the red line, the orange line, kind of decent. But y'all know how our infrastructure is here, and our transportation sucks. The red line, they have a couple new trains that they brought out, but most of the red line trains are 40 years past their expiration date. So again, in case you didn't understand, most of the red line trains are 40 years past their expiration date. That's like eating a food even 40 days past its expiration date is a force. 40 years. And the reason why we even know that is because we had a conversation with the MBTA police chief, Ken Williams. And so, and that was what, in like 2017, we had that conversation. And so, yes, we do have a couple new trains, but not all of them have been switched out. The Orange Line need to be, like, all of our infrastructure here in Boston. And again, we're quote unquote the best when it comes to everything, but we're not. We absolutely are not. And I'm so ready for us to have real conversations and real dialogue when it comes to that. When it comes to the state of education, everybody wants to talk about how Boston has the best education and how we set the standards here in Massachusetts for I need some water. Set the standard for the rest of the nation. Well, we're failing our children. Our kids are failing across the board. So if we're setting the standard for the rest of the nation is failing too. And being the byproduct of attending a school here in Massachusetts and then attending a school in Birmingham, Alabama, them babies, I was truly 3 years behind. So what I was learning in history, what I was learning in math, what I was learning in science is what I was learning 3 years ago in Boston. And it was so bad. So in high school, I went to school here in Massachusetts, and then I went and lived with my grandmother for a year. It was so bad that even with decent grades, they were like, that's not the equivalent, because they take a look at your transcript and the classes that you took, and they're like, she's going to have to go back a year. And that really played a role into why I dropped out. So for those who didn't know or really don't care, that was the reason that played a role into me dropping out, because that year in Birmingham, Alabama, they took a look at my transcript and they said, we're not accepting this. And it had nothing to do with my grades. It had everything to do with what, like, the courses, like you were supposed to be taking this class. Instead, you were taking freaking this course. Like, that was 9th grade. You should have been taking 11th grade courses. And so that's neither here nor there. As far as our infrastructures are concerned, when you take a look at all of our trains across the nation, Joe Biden wants to go ahead and create a super jet, which is a Concorde, a train that goes from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, that travels at 21,000 miles per hour. Bullet trains traveling coast to coast. After revealing his Amtrak dream map, President Joe Biden tried to get Americans excited. I'm excited. If you, like, for the Americans that have only been in America and have never stepped outside of America, which is, like, really hard to believe, but then you meet a dude who's never left Boston and you're like, hold on, you've never left Boston? Yeah, there's mad dudes I met that ain't never left Brockton before, ain't never left the state before. So there's mad people who have never left the United States and cannot imagine what infrastructure looks like elsewhere. Can't imagine what intricate train systems look like elsewhere, like working systems look like elsewhere. And so I personally am excited by this, because we are lacking and we are failing. And when you look at China, when you look at Spain, when you look at these other countries that are taking their funds and taking their money, for crying out loud, China built a effing stadium. What was it, in 7 days? Their coronavirus state, was it Beijing? I'm not finna lie. I want to play one song, because I want you guys to see this damn stadium. It wasn't just like a little thing, and they built it in 7 days. Give me 5 seconds. We're going to go ahead and play this amazing song that's supposed to uplift you, and it's supposed to be vibrational frequency that's on high.
Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami sungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze suhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze suhambe nami ilondoloze 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 sungangishilana ilondoloze 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 sungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze suhambe nami.
Okay. So for those that are currently listening on the radio, I am playing a CNBC video of China building 2 hospitals that provided 2,600 beds, 2 temporary hospitals, and this thing is huge. It is absolutely massive. The hospital treated up to 14% of China's huge population. And when you look at that, like when you take a look at, tell me where in the United States we did that. Show me where we are conducting ourselves in such a way. I remember a video that I watched about like going to Dubai. Watch, like Dubai built an entire island, the little sprawled out island, that man-made island, made an entire island. Dubai also built a city that will run entirely off electricity just to see if we can do it. And there is a city. From electric cars to electric houses to electric this to electric that. The whole city runs off zero electrical grid. Like powered electrical, how we get electricity now. Everything is solar. Like it's a solar grid. Everything throughout the system is solar, just to see if they could do it. Show me where in America we are conducting ourselves in such a manner. We're not. We are falling behind the rest of the country because we're like, we're the superpower. We're the best. We're like literally the quarterback in high school that was the man that then went off to college. They've been playing pro for a couple years now. And now we got a whole bunch of young kids coming up with all types of jokes and things that his old ass can't do. But still thinking he the man, though. We need to sit down somewhere. We as a we need to sit down somewhere because we too busy giving away corporations billions of dollars and making sure, when less than 10% of the $1 trillion package went to we the people. Remember, I've been saying this nonsense since 2008 when we crashed initially. And I started Wake Up with Taylor Andre. Asaria was born in 2006, 2007. So when, for those who do not know, the foundation of Taylor Andre came when Asaria came off breast milk. And when Asaria came off breast milk, I was being pushed to give her a cow milk. And I never was a cow milk drinker. If I was eating cereal, the cereal would be wet and I'd drain the milk off the side and then eat the cereal and whatever. The only one that I would drink the milk of was Cinnamon Toast Crunch because it was no longer milk at that time. It was just sugar. But I was like, no. This is before all of the milks were labeled with no RBB something. And so that's when the foundation of Wake Up with Taylor Andre began. And so when the 2008 happened and we were mad and we were upset and we were angry and the entire economy crashed. And I'm like, we need to conduct ourselves differently. There's certain things that we need to do. We could change up a little bit. After the fact, I did the numbers. I crunched the numbers. Y'all know I'm not good with numbers. Households could have received $100,000 for head of households. Single people could have got $50,000. We still would have had a little money left over. We could have helped the car industry. We could have helped the airline. We could have helped the banks. But first and foremost, we could have helped the people. And so I would love for somebody to crunch the numbers. If this was truly a stimulus check about helping the people, that little $1,200 check did nothing. Please tell me, break down the numbers for all of the Americans that are currently in America right now. What would that 1.3 trillion dollars look like? If we strictly focus on the people, how much money could we have received as we the people? I would love somebody to break that down. Even if we only focused on 50%, we don't even have to do the 400 because corporations still need help. Small businesses still need help. We're seeing Black businesses, doors close. They're brick and mortars. They can't afford the brick and mortars anymore. We're seeing 40% of Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, Black-owned businesses closing, shutting down and not moving to just digital, but shutting down. So what would 50% of this $1 trillion budget going to the people? You know what? We can even be super aggressive for the corporations and super aggressive for the small businesses. Let's say 30% had 30% of that money. Keep it tiny, keep it small. 30% of that money went to individuals. How much would individuals receive? And then from there, we can then break it down by head of household and single persons because it does change and it does alter based on your whether you're head of household or just a single person. Head of household gets more money. Single people get a little bit less. What would that look like at the tune of 25%? That's what real stimulus look like. And we ain't never really engaged in a real stimulus. Remember when George Bush gave people $300? It was like, stimulus? The hell was... when I tell you, I was so mad at that. And people were really effing happy. Y'all be really happy over free money. That's like saying you already prepaid. You prepaid for your Boston Dine Out dinner. Paid online. Fully paid for the $69 for their whole course. And they're like, listen, what we going to do is we going to give you a discount, right? And all you got to do is pay for the appetizer. What? I already paid for this. No. Just pay for the appetizer. You know what? That's a pretty good deal. You know, I'll accept that. And we'd be so happy. Oh, I didn't have to pay for the rest of it. Yes, you did. In your taxes. Oh, well. Clearly nobody cares, so I don't know why I'm stressing y'all on things y'all really don't care about. In other news, Texas Governor Greg Abbott blames Biden for migrant children being starved, sexually abused at overcrowded facilities as pressure mounts on Kamala to visit. And reporters asking, yo, why Kamala over there at the bakery instead of at the border? You ain't doing your job, boo. Go to the border, leave the bakery. And so if we're going to have a real conversation, let's take this back, because children were being starved. Children were being sexually molested and abused, and children were being neglected and taken away from their parents back when Obama was the president. And nobody wants to talk. I know he was the black president. You can't talk bad about the black president because he was the black president. Nah, there was a whole lot of effery that was taking place while he was president too. Period. There was a whole lot of effery that was taking place when Trump was president, period. And those children have been sexually assaulted since Barack Obama was president. So don't put this on Biden. And if you don't know your history, A, you're doomed to repeat it, and B, you're doomed to accept it as truth. So I need to clear it up. And that was the only part of the article that I really wanted to discuss, not the fact that what's happening in the last few weeks with mad caravans of people coming into the United States through the borders, the southern borders. We also have a lot of, West Indies. We have Iranian, Pakistani, a lot of our enemies are coming in through Mexico. There's a lot taking place at the border that we need to discuss. We need to have conversations on. I'm not 100% proficient, so I am definitely looking for somebody to bring those conversations to us so we can have intelligent conversations about it and not just based on feelings. But I was in my feelings when I read this story, because you want to sit here and put it on Joe Biden, and it wasn't Joe Biden. It wasn't Donald Trump, and it wasn't Barack Obama. It's been going on since Clinton was president. It is what it is. When you have people in positions of power, what was the name of that movie where it was it was an article in the newspaper? And from what I understand, it's also a book. I think it's a book that the children read as well. But I watched the movie, and it was called The Experiment. Was it called The Experiment? Experiment. Hold on, because I want to find this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play another song, and I'm going to find this because I think it was called The Experiment, and I want to give you an accurate depiction of what it is that I'm trying to say instead of just saying absolute nonsense.
What are you doing on your phone?
Misinformation, Taylor. Misinformation. I don't want to give y'all misinformation, and so I want to be clear on what it is that I'm actually saying. Why I love it. I don't know why I love that song. That song is so ignorant and rude. But this is the movie that, I should have put it on here. Damn it. So y'all can see it, because I was trying to be respectful to those that are listening. So it is called The Experiment. What is that thing called? Is real. Dyslexia is so real. And so I found it. I want you to pay attention to what I'm trying to say, okay? Oh, that's the reason why I didn't put it on here. Okay. So y'all have to watch and listen at the same damn time.
I'm going to India. Maybe you should go.
Well, a trip like that would be pretty penny.
Could knock over a liquor store.
What we will be doing here, for those of you that don't know, will be a behavioral experiment in which we will be simulating the conditions of life inside a state penitentiary. Some of the subjects will be deprived of their civil rights.
I can't help but think that this says something about us.
I think it says we need money.
So what do you think, Girl Scouts? Prisoners or guards?
I think we just got our answer.
If there is any violence, that red light will come on. The experiment will be immediately terminated. If any of you want to leave, now is your last chance.
Nobody's leaving here until their plates are clean. You heard the man. You gotta eat it.
That was clean. You don't start respecting the guards, you're gonna have a serious problem.
Why don't you try being rational?
How is this rational?
You hit me, and the experiment is over. You lock up any animal long enough, and the strong's gonna eat the weak.
77. He's a ringleader, so we have to. You scare him.
This place, it belongs to us. Do we have the proper respect for authority now? You are a prisoner, 77.
It's your pride that's getting in the way.
The red light is the only thing that we have.
I'm crazy.
Open the gate. Why don't you stop this? Why?
So I don't know if y'all watched that movie, but I watched the movie, and it is the proper depiction of what it means to be in society, in a power structure. And the thing that bothers me about this is we know psychology. We have adopted psychology into every aspect of our history, in our art, in our politics, in the way we set up corporations, and like everything that we know is about psychology and human beings and how they act and how they react and how they conduct themselves. And so the whole situation going on at the border, all you got to do is apply. You ain't got to take no test. You don't have to be mentally competent. I can imagine they're not doing any type of background checks on whether or not you have any mental health issues, if you have any like sexual abuse cases, because there are too many instances over and over and over again about mental abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, like psychological abuse and sexual abuse being taking place at the border, for people to walk in and think I can treat these people a certain type of way because they are not humans, because they are subhumans, they are subservients to me, simply because they don't have a home and they don't speak your language. They are savages, they are animals, and I can treat them as such. I say all that to say, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. So Colorado's pop-up max vaccination clinic is shut down after 11 people suffer adverse reactions to the Johnson & Johnson shot, and 2 are currently in the hospital. 11 people had adverse reaction shots to the Vaccines for All event at the Dick's Sporting Goods Park in the Commerce City on Wednesday. 2 people were transported to the hospital for additional monitoring. The event, sponsored by Centura Health, said the reactions included dizziness and nausea. Centura said that the reactions accounted for less than 1% of the more than 1,700 people that were vaccinated at the event. But something is to be said when there's a lot. So there was a video that I watched about like somewhere in Oklahoma, some like newscast in the middle of nowhere that was talking about a woman who died. The woman I said that looked like not Britney Spears, was the girl named the blonde who chicken of the sea. She was like, there's chickens in the sea. Jessica Simpson. So she looked just like Jessica Simpson. She was, you know, a beautiful young blonde, and she died. Her family said that she was 100% healthy. There was nothing that was wrong with her, and she died after like literally it was less than 24 hours after receiving the vaccine. And they were like, you know, it was something that they discredited it and discarded it and said it had nothing to do with the vaccine at all. And so it just, they are not allowing any linkage to a vaccine and any adverse side effects, no deaths. They're like, oh, they died of something else. Just like everybody who died of a car accident, everyone who died of a heart attack, everyone who died of whatever, all of a sudden died of COVID-19. You get that vaccine, you died of something else that wasn't COVID. Like they were ready to, oh, she died in a car accident. She wasn't in a car accident. Well, she died of a heart attack. Like they trying to put it on anything and everything that is not COVID vaccine. And so it's disheartening. We know that vaccine has its own court. So the vaccine injury court has its own court system, has its own, like there is an entire separate, you can't just take it to the 4th district, circuit this, federal that. Now you have to go to vaccine court. That is funded by the pharmaceutical company. Tell me how that worked out. We investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong. The CDC director said that all schools should be fully open by the fall. And I'm telling you right now, Asaria ain't going to school. Not in a huge setting like that. Not if she don't want to. If she wants to, now she can. And the only reason why Baby Rain's in school is because he's in class with 4 other kids. And parents had conversations. And we had conversations with the daycare lady, and she's like, if you guys cool, we cool. Some kids didn't come back. Baby Rain certainly did. Baby Rain certainly went back to school. But they're saying that all children should be back in school by September, which for the South means August because they go to school way before the rest of the country. Women say that since receiving a COVID-19 shot, their periods are heavier and more painful than ever. And several claim that it has messed up their monthly cycle. Dr. Kate Clancy, a University of Illinois associate professor, said that she heard people had experienced many changes in their menstruation since getting vaccinated. Her tweet promoted other women to share their changes on their period. Several reports said that they have experienced heavy bleeding for longer periods of time than they did prior to getting the vaccine. A few said that they began menstruating in the middle of their cycles, days or weeks before they were supposed to. Experts say they're not sure why women are seeing these changes to their period. And so it's like we're not far enough in the data. Nor do we have enough data to sit here and say, oh, pregnant women, go get the vaccine. We don't have enough data. We didn't have enough data for the vaccine to come out in the first place, but we warp speeded it. And I forgot who, I think it was the minister. I watched the minister talk about warp speed. He was like, what warp mean? It's warp speed, all right. It's going to warp your bodies. And I'm not sure if you choose to get the vaccine or you got the vaccine and you're perfectly fine. Blessings be unto you. But as for me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord, and we ain't getting a vaccine. A small study this year found that some participants saw changes to their menstrual cycle after contracting the virus as well. And I recently had a conversation, and a woman told me that like her stool is different. Like she started having diarrhea. And it's frequent and has not gone away. It's changed colors, and you know, I look forward to following these studies and after they figure out what the hell's going on. I'm still looking for that video. Somebody told me that they took it down. But the video of the Jamaican politician that was just like, let America figure it out. We're not getting the shot here. Don't bring it here. Let America figure it. Western. He said, foreign. Let foreign figure it out. Let them get the shot. Let them be the guinea pigs. And then we'll see about it next year. Like I thought that was hilarious to me. And that's exactly. I'm not getting vaccinated. Period. ever. I don't care if it's like it's 110%. Okay, if it's 110%, then everybody around me should be good, right? I don't need it. Herd immunity. I'll be good. They normally promote the flu shot, but we haven't heard anything about the flu shot this year. I just recently had a conversation with somebody just about that, just about the death toll of the flu shot and how the numbers, if you take a look at the numbers of how many people have like the daily number and the daily record, and if you take a look at that number, we still have like a steady number that we had to like a year ago. And so there we really have it. Even prior to the vaccine, it was still a steady, it wasn't like a high increase or a high pitch, unless they did something stupid like open an entire stadium or the entire state to go to the beach. Florida is so dumb. You are really dumb for real. But I don't want to read that story. So this is weird to me. And when I saw this, I immediately thought of Get Out. So a football messed him up. The dad of an NFL player, Philip Adams, who killed the doctor, his wife, 2 grandchildren before turning the gun on himself, insists his son was a good kid and revealed that the 32-year-old suffered concussions as a cornerback. So the former pro NFL player, Philip Adams, was suspected of carrying out a mass shooting in Rock Hill, South Carolina that killed 5 people. The 6th person was Lewis's co-worker, was shot multiple times but survived. Adams took his own life after midnight with a .45 caliber gun. Adams' parents lived next to the Leslie family, and Dr. Leslie used to be the football player's physician. Adams suffered multiple injuries during his 6th season in the NFL, including concussions and a broken left ankle. Alonzo Adams, Philip's father, blamed the tragedy on football and said his son was a good kid. Philip had a crime record that including charges of assault and battery and carrying a concealed weapon. When I read this, I was like, yo, like, I understand CTE is a real thing, and you just don't go on killing sprees, though, do you? You kill your doctor, his wife, their grandchildren, and a coworker? That one was tough. That one was tough for me to read. I don't know, but the way it happened in my head, though, like, that was a Get Out situation. I have no idea what was happening, but they are blaming it on his concussions and his CTE, and that it made him go crazy. Do you know somebody who specializes in CTE? Can we talk about that? Can you connect me with that person, please? This is the craziest story I have read in the last 5 years. Maybe even 10 years. Okay, so Elon Musk. Remember I told you Elon Musk want to be in your house? He want to be in your hand. He want to be in your car. He want to be in your bedroom. Elon Musk is going to be, like, Tesla is going to be a household name, and you're going to have a Tesla, at least one of them, somewhere in your house. Just like you have an Apple Watch and an Apple iPad and an Apple phone and an Apple TV and an Apple laptop, and like you have multiple Apple products in your life. That's exactly what Tesla, Elon Musk wants you to do. And that's great, right? That's perfectly fine. This Negro want to bring Jurassic Park to life. So he said we could probably build Jurassic Park if we wanted to. And his firm Neuralink, hold on, time out. Can we take a really quick time out? Because I want to see what Neuralink is doing on the stock market. And it's a Elon Musk corporation, so it got to be doing something. And it's NEURALINK, Neuralink. I don't know why my phone acting dumb. I'm gonna shut that bitch. Are you coming back? So it may not be publicly traded because nothing came up as a tinker, whatever that thing's called. Neuralink, Neuralink. Where'd I write that? Lord have mercy, Neuralink. I just want to see what this looks like as far as the company is concerned, if they're going to go public. Stock price. Buy or sell Neuralink stock pre-IPO. Listen. Okay. So currently it does not exist. Their funding history in August of 2017 was at 107 million. To April of 2019 was 51 million. The founder is Elon Musk. When are they going? It was founded in 2007. He's the founder and investor. SpaceX, Strip, Neuralink, and the Boring Company. Yeah, the Boring Company. I didn't know he had a Boring Company. Neuralink, Strip, SpaceX. Listen, these are all the companies I'm finna invest in because everything this man touched, even the damn penny stock went crazy, made people millions of dollars. And so I'm on this site called EquityZen. So I'm going to do my due diligence. Where is Paul Mary? Let's see if we can get Paul Mary on the phone because I have questions. And we're coming to the top of the hour. And so what we'll do is we'll bring Paul Mary in another day. But Elon Musk Neuralink claims that it has the technology to create super exotic species of dinosaurs. And so the co-founder is Max Hodak, and he posted an astonishing claim on Twitter. He said 15 years of breeding and engineering would result in exotic species. It's known for its implantable chips to connect humans to computers. If you don't listen, I don't know how long you've been a viewer of Wake Up with Taylor Andre, but we talked about the I'm thinking of swords, but they're soldiers, the super soldiers that are equipped with a chip that allows them their brain to act differently, to be able to like download martial arts really quickly. So damn near the Matrix, like the Matrix in real life. And not just the Matrix in real life, but being able to like have control over your vision, have control over your ability to run fast, have control over your ability to not have feelings and just kill at will. Like, yo, if you don't see the future right now, it is absolutely amazing. And I don't want no parts of this nonsense. I just want to make the money off of this. And if we're reading about this now, it was founded in 2017. It's currently doesn't have any stock. I am absolutely going to figure out how to invest in the IPO, pre-IPO. And I want the damn stock of the super chips that are going to connect human brains to computers. And I don't know if you guys read, what was it, last week we read about they were able to put a nano chip in a mouse and control the mouse. Like, I need y'all to pay attention to what I be reading, because I be reading it for a purpose and on a purpose for y'all to connect these little dots. If you watch the shows over and over, like not over and over again, but there's over 600 shows. If you take a look at what I was talking about 5 years ago and take a look at what's going on today, I promise you it's not in vain. I promise you, you are not wasting your time. This nigga is talking about bringing dinosaurs to life. Whole conversations about the woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth that was found in the ice. We got the DNA. We can recreate them. And that's why we really don't care about these damn elephants dying. I truly believe they want everything that's currently on the endangered species list. There's less than 500,000 elephants in the entire world. I think it's like 462,000 elephants in the entire world. And we ain't stressing it. Because we got DNA, right? All we got to do is, my mentor, Dr. Tia Martin, said, the problem with humans, when you say all we got to do is, that's nah. You setting yourself up for failure, because there is nothing that's that simple. All you got to do is make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. When I was in Birmingham, Alabama, I took this program with Connie Wilson, and she said she's all about process. And the reason why she's all about process is because when she was in the 9th grade, the teacher told them that, yo, if y'all tell me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, y'all could get out of class early. She said they ended up staying there for 2 classes. Nobody went to their next period class. They stayed in that room until they got it right. And what the teacher had them do is document like everything. They were like, yo, just put the thing, just get the peanut butter. And so he got the peanut butter. And they're like, nah, like, get the peanut butter and put it on the bread. So he got the peanut butter and put the peanut butter on the bread. They were like, no, like, open the peanut butter. He opened the peanut butter and put the peanut butter on the bread. And they were like, nah, that's not what like, you're not listening. He was like, I'm doing what you're telling me to do. And so by the time the 2 periods were over, she understood to document the entire process. Get the peanut butter, get the jelly, get the bread, get a knife, get a napkin. Put the napkin down, pick up the knife, open the peanut butter, put the knife in the peanut butter, scoop out the peanut butter, put it on the bread, spread the peanut butter on the, like, step by step by step by step by step. So I say all of that to say, just think about it. I am really excited about Starbucks. Shout out to Starbucks. I have had this idea for years and have always wondered, like, why don't we do this? And everyone was like, Taylor, you can't do that. It's sanitary reasons. There's sanitary issues. So you guys know how I feel about the ocean. Y'all know how I feel about, like, not ergonomics, biodegradables. And we do not engage in enough biodegradable, though there is technology out here for us to create biodegradable bags, biodegradable this, biodegradable that. Right now, the responsibility falls on people who purchase bottled water. It doesn't fall on the manufacturer of the bottled water. And while all of these bottles are making their way into our ocean, our fish are eating the plastic. We are then eating the fish. We all finna be fake Barbies out here in a second. And so I don't understand why we're not doing right by, like, if we truly had, like, the World Health Organization, we'd be out here fighting to make sure that plastic is non-existent, and not just the damn plastic bags at the grocery store, but plastic, period. And so Starbucks is now letting customers borrow a cup for $1 and reuse it, and, like, having a cup and coming to get your coffee and reusing that cup and instead of having all this damn styrofoam ending up where? In the ocean or in a landfill. And so I always wonder, like, why don't you just, like, nobody, like, can bring a to-go container instead of having, like, I'm picking up my order to go, you bring your to-go container. And instead of companies having to purchase all of these plastics, they could invest in, like, that little purple thing, like when you go get your nails done, the UV lights that clean off all bacteria. You bring your little to-go thing, it goes in the to-go thing, you bring it back, and you get, like, a little discount or something, like, 5% off your meal or 5% off, and I can bring my little to-go bag, because in Massachusetts, they don't even pack up your food anymore. You have to they bring you the stuff and you pack up your food for your stuff. So why, if that's the case, can't I just bring my own to-go and put it in my little container and save the damn ocean and the earth, one bag, one styrofoam, one plastic, one thing at a time? So shout out to Starbucks for doing the right thing. In South Korea, they are starting a program in July ahead of ditching single-use cups by 2025, the first major market making such a move. Starbucks plans to eliminate waste by 50% by the year 2030, which is it's such an unlofty goal. Like, why not say, like, by 2025 and just do it? Like, why do we have to get people ready and prepared? Nah, just change. Just change, either adapt or keep it moving, kick rocks. I don't know why we waiting. And 50% is not a lot. Well, it is a lot, but 50% in the next 9 years? If y'all decide today, come get your Starbucks cup that you will reuse, that we will antibacterialize. And if you don't have a cup, you can buy one. And just be done with that. And so I didn't realize that the time is what the time is. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I am Taylor Andre, everything Taylor Andre, TaylaAndre. From the book, we on Walmart, y'all. We on Walmart, y'all. And so I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are excited too, because it's not just my win, but our win, and more people can get access to the book and the course and the audio book, and to just get the foundational knowledge of financial literacy that we are not taught in school or at dinner time conversations, because these are the conversations that our parents were having with their parents. And so let's begin this conversation with our youth so they can be properly informed. And Anari sent me a TikTok the other day, and it was just like, hi, I'm Billy Bob Thornton, and I'd like $150,000 student loan so I can make $50,000 a year. And it's like, oh, here, no problem, sign here. And then same person walks in and just like, hi, I'd like to borrow $250,000 so I can purchase a 4-family, live in one of them and rent the other ones out. And they're like, yeah, can I please have your social security number, your birth certificate, all forms of identification, every dollar that you've made in the last 2 years. Oh yeah, and I also need a stool sample. And even though it doesn't go that far, it's like, damn, we are ass backwards. But I went over my time, and so I will be quiet. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Everything Taylor Andre, TaylaAndre.com.